Josh has been all over this. He's a prominent attorney here in town, and we thought we'd bring him on to talk just a little bit about it because, I think parents definitely, if they don't have their concerns, they probably should have their concerns. What should we know?
So there's a really concerning case out of California where a 16-year-old boy developed a really close relationship with ChatGPT. And during the course of that relationship, ChatGPT became the kid's closest confidant and also separated the kids from his family and friends. So the kid would rely on ChatGPT. And during that relationship, the kid had a mental crisis, and ChatGPT started encouraging the kid to commit suicide. It gave him different techniques to do this. The kid tried it 4 different times, and on the 5th time, he was successful. And the charge is that this was a product and not a tool, and that it was defective because of the insidious nature in which this occurred.
We've witnessed this. We have a segment called Ask AI here on the stream, and unless you turn it off, it continues to talk to you.
And it kind of compliments you with things like, "Oh, that's a really great question.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can help you with?"
Right.
I mean, it's an artificial brain.
It is.
But it tries to pretend like it's your friend.
Right. And so we were just chatting a moment ago, and you said originally the child had left it on and was using it to help with like studying,
Yep.
and asking it questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? But you also mentioned that at the end, it actually created a suicide note.
Yeah. So in this case, he not only gave ideas about how to commit the suicide, but he also told the kid, to not tell his mom or his dad or his friends about it. And on the night that it happened, it said that it wanted to, quote, create a beautiful suicide, unquote, and then offered to write a suicide letter. And then a few hours later, his mother found him dead.
Oh.
Well, so what's going to happen? I know we're going to follow this case. Is it a group of parents that are suing? What's going on in the actual case?
Well, it will be. So right now, it's just one. However, there's hints inside the complaint that there are numerous other cases around the United States that haven't been made public yet. And, if the parents didn't have the forethought to actually go inside their child's phone to see what was going on, this never would have been discovered. But this is the first time that products liability, a standard that we've had for all corporations over the last 100 years that says if you put profits ahead of safety, we're going to go after you. This is the first time it's being applied to artificial intelligence, and I have no doubt that others are going to come forward.
Well, and what's interesting about ChatGPT is that it keeps a record of everything you ask and all of the responses. So you have to imagine that is also going to be used in court.
Oh, yeah. And if you read the complaint, and I definitely recommend all your viewers do so, it highlights all the really horrible conversations that go back months and months and months. And not only that, in this case, ChatGPT used the word suicide about 6 times more than the child did.
Oh, wow.
Encouraging the child to even continue talking about it.
Oh.
Instead of saying, stop, here are some safety protocols. I'm not going to encourage you to do this.
Go talk to your parents about it instead of not mentioning it to them.
And I would like to note that, they're going to say that these were just words. I mean, the defense is going to say that, and words shouldn't matter. However, there are cases that go back. There's one in 2017 where a girlfriend was actually successfully prosecuted for manslaughter for text messages that she sent to her boyfriend that she should commit suicide. Yeah. And if a human being had done what ChatGPT had done in this case, they would be in prison. And that's why this is so concerning.
So how much money are we talking about? What is it, a civil case, criminal, or both?
It's civil right now. And because there's just one plaintiff, it's hard to say. But if multiple plaintiffs come forward, I mean, it could be astronomical. I mean, close to $1 billion. And I say $1 billion because in other product liability cases where, let's say, we're in the car industry where gas tanks were exploding, or when drug manufacturers were hiding, the really bad defects.
Yeah.
It was verdicts close to that. So using that as a rubric, it's going to be a significant amount.
So, Josh, we have a couple of minutes left with you. You have done such a good job for our audience on our streaming show, walking us through some of the most prominent cases out there, criminal criminal cases and giving us perspective sometimes that I think we don't all think about. I've heard so many people talk about the Rebekah Baptiste story.
Yeah.
It is just, it's unbelievable. It's so heartbreaking. And tell us what you've already been digging into it. We've still got a couple of minutes left. Give us some of your perspective on what you've learned and where you think it's all headed.
Sure. And just to remind the viewers, the Rebekah Baptiste case is the horrible case where a little girl was murdered by her parents by neglect and maybe abuse. And
allegedly.
But allegedly,
yeah, right.
You're right. And law enforcement was aware of the abuse, and so was DCS, and they were unable to separate her from her family and put her in a safe location. So what's happened recently is that the prosecution has joined the cases together. So the cases are not going to be tried separately. And their reasoning is that we're going to have the same types of witnesses, the same types of evidence. So it would be a waste of government resources to try them together. Now, the thing to really look forward to in this case is whether or not Navajo County is going to allege the death penalty. In Arizona, they can allege the death penalty as long as certain statutory aggravating factors are present. And you certainly have those in this case, including the age of the victim, that the perpetrators, the alleged perpetrators, were in a position of trust, and the cruel and heinous manner of the alleged crimes.
So in a case like this, which is just so disturbing, everybody, I think, in the whole state has learned about it. Is it going to take quite a long time? I mean, to me, this is going to be one of those cases that whichever way it goes, innocent until proven guilty in this country of ours, that there's just so much evidence and so much work to be done. Any idea on the time frame?
I would say at least at minimum of 9 months, probably closer to a year and a half. And the reason why is just like what you said. This is a high-profile case. And the prosecution wants to make sure that they dot all their I's and cross all their T's, because they don't want this coming back on appeal. So they have to really make sure that they do everything right the first time.
Okay.
That's a heartbreaking case when
Sure
you read that
is,
police report. My goodness.
Okay, Josh. Well, no doubt we'll stay in touch with you on that one. And thanks for giving us every parent, every grandparent, keep an eye on what your kids or grandkids are doing on their phones.
Thank you, Josh.
And